Hello, my name is Bill Brand. I'm the owner of Christian Care 360. I'm a health insurance agent here in Texas, and we specialize in helping individuals and self-employed people with their health insurance options. And we help businesses and individuals deal with, and in many cases, escape Obamacare. I'm happily visiting with our client, Selena Cowan, who is a cancer survivor, who we met 2 years ago. And we placed on three important portions of our plan, and she has an experience that we'd like to share with the world. So, Selena, tell me a little bit about your situation.
Hi, my name is Selena Cowan, and we own a business in Canyon Lake called Freedom Mechanical USA. It's air conditioning and heating repairs. And we had a policy that, in anticipation of Obamacare, rose to over 100%. It more than doubled, and I no longer had the money to afford it. So I was without insurance for about 4 months until my next door neighbor, who is also a business owner, told me about Bill and Mike. And I set up a meeting with them, and the policies that they um, presented to me made so much sense. The way it paid out and the way it was handled through my bank account, um, all of it seemed, it actually seemed a little too good to be true at first. And then I was diagnosed with cancer June 18th of 2015. Um, you never think that's going to happen to you. I certainly didn't. I was only 50 when I met Bill and Mike, and I didn't have any health problems. And out of the blue, I have cancer, throat cancer. And I felt so much better when I called Bill and he told me, thank goodness we got those particular policies for you, because this is exactly what you need for what you have. And it turned out he was right.
Yeah. And the interesting thing about your situation is that during your cancer battle, you actually technically didn't have any health insurance.
No.
You had no United Healthcare, you had no Blue Cross Blue Shield, you had none of the plans that are out there, and your experience and the way that it came out was totally riding on the backs of the cancer treatment plan, the critical illness, and the life insurance, which paid you while you were alive.
Yes, it did. I remember them telling me that when we had our first initial meeting, and that it would actually pay me where I could use the money before I passed away. I'd never heard of a policy doing that before, and it turned out to be true.
This occurrence, that's correct,
Yes.
first occurrence benefit. And then you received on the critical illness how much money?
Over $50,000.
And you still have that. And how much do you think you got from the life insurance? It seems like you got.
I got $113,000 from the life insurance.
Nice. And you own the policies for less than 2 years.
Right, less than 2 years.
I think one of the things that strikes me about your situation is that you were able to get into treatment very quickly, which I think increased your survival odds.
Believe me, when you have cancer, the first thing you want to do is get in there and get started. The the waiting is the hardest part.
Yeah.
And so from June 18th, we start fighting to get in that radiation treatment. And initially, they wanted $34,000 in cash in order to start my treatment, and we did not have that. We had 10 saved up in our savings, which my husband was more than willing to part with. But they wanted the whole 34,000. Well, I called Bill, and he got on the phone on my behalf with the hospital, and he guaranteed them that they would be getting money if they would just get started, but that bills had to be submitted to the insurance company before they can send you a check, and there are no bills until they start the treatment. Big
So it's a
catch-22.
right?
Exactly. But he got on the phone with them and guaranteed them that they would be receiving money, and so they took the $10,000 down that my husband had, and they began treatment.
Wow.
And then the checks came regularly like they said they would.
And it worked out.
The $5,000 for first occurrence, and then the other payments that they gave monthly.
Now, here's an interesting situation that I want to mention, and that is in 2014
Mhm.
and 2015, you had no health insurance. So
No.
you were penalized by Obamacare for not having insurance. How much was your penalty?
$501 for the year of 2014.
And you received well over 160,000 as an alternative.
Yes, I did. And
you weren't really worried about the penalty, were you?
The premiums of the one I dropped, it would have been astronomical compared to $501 for a year.
Yeah.
I mean, they were outrageous.
Yeah, and you wouldn't have been able to maintain them anyway, so probably.
Probably not. No, I couldn't make that one on May 1st, and that we're an air conditioning company, so our summers are always, the bottom line looks better than the winters,
So
and I still couldn't afford it.
when we met, it was our statement that you would be better off protecting yourself from major illnesses.
Correct.
And spending, I think your total out of pocket on our plan was about $300 or $400 a month. And so what we made the claim was that you would be better off by just getting plans that protected yourself and accepting the penalty.
Right.
And rather than paying for a high-priced plan with a big deductible,
correct,
and then you'd have satisfied the penalty, you would have avoided the penalty, but you'd have had a very expensive plan, and who knows where you'd be right now.
Well,
you wouldn't be where you are right now financially, I don't think.
I would not. And even though when you're getting insurance, you think about having to go to the doctor for the flu or for female wellness checks or what have you, those are around $100. Why pay somebody $1,600 a month when once a year you can pay $100 to go get these little things taken care of? And it made perfect sense when y'all told me that what I needed to plan for financially was the big things.
Right.
Never thinking that was going to happen to me.
The tail seems to be wagging the dog for some of these plans.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I'm just glad that you're in remission. You had a PET. When was your most recent PET scan?
I had a PET scan on November the 15th, and I guess they measured the activity where the cancer was, and it went down from 20 to 5.7.
Okay.
And 2 is normal, where you don't have cancer at all. They were very, very happy with my results.
Nice.
Of the PET scan.
Do you see any more radiation or chemo in your?
I don't think so.
I think you're out of the
They don't think they're going to have to do anything else, but they are going to keep an eye on me. I have not gotten that all's clear yet, but the doctors, both my ear, nose, and throat specialist and my radiologist and my chemotherapy doctor are very happy with my numbers.
And just I haven't looked at your file, but I think your cancer treatment plan probably costs about $120 a month, or something like that. Yeah, and that program you can actually keep for the rest of your life, and the rate never goes up.
Oh, wow! I didn't even know that. That's great. I mean, I knew what you initially told me, and it has not gone up on me in that 2 years.
Despite the fact that they're
But
paying
I
out all
didn't know
these
it
claims,
wasn't going to.
it's never going to go up.
That's
That's crazy,
awesome.
right?
Yeah, that's great.
So, what are your plans? I mean, you enjoyed, you had a good Christmas?
I had a great Christmas. My husband turned 50, and he's always wanted a muscle car. And we were able to get that. And now we're going to go on weekend excursions to Lukenbach and Fredericksburg and the wine countries and
That's cool.
have a good time.
I'm not going to, I don't have to belabor the point, but people that are diagnosed with cancer that go through a cancer battle don't have as happy experience as what you did, or where you're at right now.
Oh no, I can imagine.
So
I don't know where I would be without the help I got from y'all.
Yeah, it really bothers me and it drives me because I see people that are suffering right now financially, and it didn't have to happen.
Physically,
Yeah.
it was tough. I'm telling you, there are mornings where you wake up and you just don't even want to put one foot in front of the other, but you do.
Yeah.
And but it's nice not to have the financial worries on top of that.
Right. That's it.
Yeah.
So, just in wrapping up, what advice would you give people?
I would tell them that they need to really pay attention to what they're paying for, because what these guys are selling makes a lot of sense, and now I'm proof that they were right. I did not mind paying that $501 penalty for not having Obamacare. I didn't mind it one bit because where my money went, it paid off. It did what it was supposed to do and what these guys told me it was going to do.
And it benefited you and your family.
And my family, yes. My family thanks you very much.
Well, we believe families are, how do you want to say? We believe that families are sacred.
Yes.
And families need to be protected. And so we treat and recommend to families programs that we would want for ourselves. So if I was in your situation, I'd want the same things that you had. So when we make our recommendations, we think about,
I would
that.
recommend the same thing. I would recommend that my friends and family get these policies as well.
Well, thank you. All right. There you go. I really appreciate your time and spending this moment with me.
I appreciate you
And
guys.
you bet. We're glad that we met.
Well, I would like to tell everybody that these guys are very trustworthy and they're there when you need them. They answer your phone calls when you call. If he's not available right then, he calls me right back. And you can trust them. You can trust them, and I did, and I'm glad I did.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Sure.
All right.
Thank you.
You bet.